Don't come looking for us. There's something out here.
This wasn't a random killing. This was a warning.
Now available on video on demand is the horror film Abominable, about a group of scientists that find a plant that's a medical cure-all. One small problem, there's a Yeti guarding it. Joining me right now is the producer of Abominable. On the phone is Justin Price. Hey Justin, thanks for talking to me today.
No worries. Thank you so much for having me, man. Anytime I get to talk about the arts, I'm up for it. I wasn't feeling too well, but I'm up now.
So how did you find this script? How did it get across your desk?
It's a good cut. You know, what's going on, I've been working with Uncork'd now for a while, and, Keith has just been one of those guys that kind of finds a pathway to projects that he likes, and this is just one of those projects where he called me up and he said, hey, do you have a Yeti movie? And it's really weird because I haven't heard of Yeti in a long time. It used to be something I think maybe in the 90s. I'm not too sure. I wasn't around as much, or I didn't remember much because I was really young. But that's just one of those things like Bigfoot. You know, I didn't know what the hell he meant. I was like, what the hell? What's a Yeti? What is that? I just remember seeing like those commercials where the jerky commercials where they have the big Bigfoot guy like kind of eating jerky or something. So I didn't know what he was talking about. I kind of did a little research on it because I didn't realize that was the same creature, if that makes sense. I thought Bigfoot was a thing, and then the Yeti was something else. So he said, "Yeah, do you have a Yeti movie?" And I was like, "No, I don't, but I know a guy." And so I just kind of had a script on my desk. So I get a lot of those now. I think people just go to IMDb and just send you a message. And so Joseph Daniel Ellis, J.D. Ellis, sent me a script about 2 years ago about these researchers who go to the mountains. They have a cure for a virus, to help cure diseases, et cetera. This Yeti plant, and of course the Yeti is guarding it, and et cetera. So Jamal Burton, the director I work with for Elves, I was like, hey man, I don't have a lot of time. I'm working on my new show Paragon, but I really want to get this movie done. And I think it's a good opportunity to just kind of, again, cut your teeth on something interesting. And I kind of produced and let him direct. And they shot in Russia, they shot in Poland, and it's been really crazy. And Joe Castro built the Yeti suit, kind of put that together for us. And that guy's just amazing. So that's kind of how the movie came about.
Now your movie relies on old school effects, blood and gore. Tell me about finding the right effects team for the movie.
Oh my goodness. It's really weird. I think we kind of got a little ahead of ourselves once technology caught up, and once you were able to kind of go to the the makeup store and get pre-made effects. You can go and get wounds and cuts and kind of things you can throw on people. And I just got a little lazy back in the day because I was like, this is a lot easier. You can just go grab a wound somewhere and slap it on someone. But then after I started doing that with amateur makeup artists, you start seeing the wound itself glued with the spirit gum on the head, and you like, this shit does not look real at all. It's just like on the head. It's not blended in the skin at all. It looks like a large just prosthetic thing clumped on someone's face. So I was like, okay, we can't do that for this movie because the movie's essentially the Yeti. It's about the Yeti. It's not really one of those movies where we're going to have a character-driven, learn so much about the scientists for 65 minutes before we finally see the Yeti. You know what I mean? Like one of those just kind of going through the snow and talking about life and having a campfire kind of movies. So I was like, this has to have great effects. And I worked with Joe on Dawn Seeker where we blew a guy's face off. And I was like, Joe, can you make a Yeti suit? He's like, he's really cool. He's like, yeah, I could do anything. I can do whatever you need me to do. So I called him up, and he came through, and then at that point we kind of got on set, man, and I just was like, guys, just let Joe just make whatever he wants to make. If he wants to pull an arm off, let him pull an arm off. And it just got to the point we just started doing shit. I was like, guys, just have him do whatever you want him to do. So it was really fun, man. Jamal was game. He's pulling off faces.
Dude, the Yeti pulls this guy's jaw off. I mean, blood everywhere.
Oh, it's dope. I was like, dude, do whatever, man. Like, just do it. Just pull off shit. Now, the crazy thing is we were in the snow, I think this was, I can't remember if this was in Poland or in Massachusetts or where it was, because I came on set for the Russia days. I was there, and I wasn't there for Poland, and I kind of came in when they brought the second unit, because they had to do a lot of pickups, and it was hard to do that in Poland, like of a Yeti suit running through the woods, because it didn't snow as much as we wanted it to snow. And it was very odd. It was like a different, it just wasn't cold enough, you know? So we came to some place in America. I can't remember if it was Massachusetts or not. But the Yeti suit, the guy's in the suit, and he's just standing there. I think his name was Tim. He's just standing in the woods. And he had just got through ripping off Robert Berlin's face, and the guy's on the ground bleeding. So you just see this Yeti, he's just standing there because, you know, Joe has to reset. We have to get all the angles or whatever. I guess, I don't know what they were actually doing, but it just looks like they were kind of doing a sort of reset. But no one left. So Joe's in the ground, bleeding. The Yeti got blood all over the suit because, you know, it shot up everywhere. And he's just kind of like walking around during the break. And there's people going through the woods walking their dog. And so all you see is this giant-ass just Yeti thing bleeding, and a guy's face literally pulled off, who's not moving on the ground. He's just like walking by, Just kind of lift his arms up like playing around. And these guys literally, they hauled that, like they was, I don't know why they ran, but they just kind of started running backward with the dog.
Justin, you need a behind-the-scenes crew when you're making these films. This stuff's too good to go to waste.
God, Jeff, you know what? As soon as you do that, man, you go, why the hell are we making movies? Because this is actually way more fun. Like, this would be like Spinal Tap. Like, why did we do the real film? This is actually hilarious if we just did the making of the Yeti.
So in that research facility, how did you get the actor's breath to look so cold? It didn't look like a special effect.
Oh, to be honest with you, it was actually that cold in that facility. That's how cold it is. Like, wherever that was, it was that cold. I asked that same question. It's like, dude, I'm not paying for visual effects like smoke or breath for everybody, okay? So I was like, you guys need to figure that out, because it didn't snow, but it was still cold as shit in that place. And so that's real breath. And I was like, oh my God, can you imagine just like walking around in there, staying on set, just being that cold, trying to do the lines and stuff. So it was really crazy. The shooting in the snow, it just brings a lot of challenges.
So tell me about the origin of the Yeti's roar. It sounded really unique.
Oh, dope, man. I think Julian Beeston, who does the sound, you know, that's sort of his design. I think he kind of put together, I don't know if he went Jurassic Park on it. I don't know if he started mixing like gorillas and and shrieking parrots or something. I don't know, but it was really one of those interesting things because I told him I don't know what it would sound like. Like, I don't know if it would sound more archaic or if it would sound more prehistoric or something along that line, but he just kind of sent me a few things, man, and then that just became, he kind of picked one, and I was like, yeah, that sounds great to me, and then maybe mix it with this one, and he just kind of came up with his own concoction. So, you know, I think it worked out.
Now, everyone knows, Justin, Abominable is a low-budget film, and in those kind of films, time is money. How many days did you shoot the film?
For Jamal, well, since we were traveling, I think this movie probably took 4 weeks. 4 to 5 weeks, just because of travel and, you know, getting to different spots, because it was really hard to trace down snow, if that makes sense. It was just one of those things where, as I was looking and we had a location scout go out, Renee was the location scout, and it was like, hey, man, there's just no snow. It's just, I don't know, global warming has hit. I don't know what it was, but it was just like, I'm like, dude, there's just no snow.
Hey, Leo DiCaprio went on record when he made The Revenant. They went all over the world to look for snow. You think that would be an easy thing, but global warming is melting everything.
It's crazy. Oh, it was really great. I legit, we planned it, right? And I remember my friend Victor Akiv, who's over in Russia, that was our liaison. I was like, okay, Vic, he's like, it's Russia. He's like, dude, it's always snowing here. Like, this is every year. You don't have to worry. So I'm like, okay, cool. So we just book all the flights, getting ready to go in. And before we even get on the plane, he's like, hey, yeah, I don't know what to tell you, but it's just not snowing. I was like, well, Vic, that doesn't make any sense because we're flying in to do snow. So what does that mean? You know, and so that was parts where we just had to go and sort of drive to places where it was essentially always snowing, closer to the mountains, closer to, it was very weird to like really have to, and then it wasn't just looking for snow. You had to find snow that it wasn't just snowy and patchy or snowy and patchy and then street city or some random thing. It's a true story. I ran out when we finally found snow. I ran out because I was like, yeah, we could just shoot with all this space. And then the guy was like, hey, yo, you're on a lake. And I had no clue because, I'm not from Russia. So I didn't know the terrain at all. But I'm just out there standing on the lake, man, just like jumping around. And it was like the whole place was a lake. The entire, it's like running out into the ocean, essentially. And I had no clue. And I was like, oh, my God, dude, imagine just falling through and dying over a Yeti movie.
Now, Justin, I went to film school, so when I watch a movie like yours, like Abominable, yeah, it's cheesy, but you know what? You make the film with the resources you have, you make a film with the budget you have and the time you have, and you have a completed film. So I applaud you for that, because that's a lot more than other people can claim.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Jeff. Yeah, I'll say this now, too, because first of all, thank you for the platform, and please, everyone that's listening, it's always like a timestamp moment, in a sense. It's like one of those time capsules with COVID-19, so everyone stay safe, man, and I'm sending you good energy to you and your family. I say what this has taught me, that's why I brought it up, just as a segue. What this has taught me, this time frame, and hopefully I think is really sort of implemented to everyone that's chasing their dreams, that want to become filmmakers, singers, or whatever it is you want to do. Notice what happens when there's a lack of resources. Now look at everyone recording in their basement. Look at Seth Meyers, his show. He got the worst green screen you've ever seen. It's like bookcase made from some stock footage. You understand what I mean? That Oprah's using her living room, no light. And when, it just kind of looks like a bunch of people who do this from their living room. That's what Oprah's show looks like now. So it's one of those things where I believe people kind of get lost in that when it comes to criticizing art. It's like, well, you do realize if, you see what happens when the playing field levels out. You don't see, Seth Meyers doesn't have a studio audience. It doesn't feel the same. Trevor Noah's on his couch. It looks different. It's not the same Daily Show now. And that's kind of what happens. It's not that Trevor Noah is different. He's still Trevor Noah. He's still giving you the jokes. He's still giving you the content. It's just not perceived the same way because he's not in a big-ass set. There's not a bunch of people around. So I think that's sort of become, I think right now people can kind of pay attention and say this sort of stigma between what people do for artists, independent artists who are trying to do things. They go, you do realize they just don't have the platform that you're looking at it like from a different lens. And that's all it is. It's not this other thing where, oh my God, your movies look a certain way. But well, hell, you give me the same, access to 900 billion things, and then you will probably see the content match up. So if you feel anything when you watch independent artists, whatever movies you want, I don't know. I don't even get into like calling movies independent because I believe that with what I'm saying now, it just debunks this notion that there's indie film. It's just, no, it's still Trevor Noah. He's not indie Trevor Noah. He's not like, lesser than Trevor Noah. He's just Trevor Noah and he has a couch. And it's just, you're just looking at it different because it's not on the Daily Show.
Well, Justin, thank you so much for talking to me today. Good luck with Abominable. Can't wait to see what you do next, bro. Thanks a lot.
Rock and roll. Thank you, man. Thank you so much for the energy, man. Thank you for your time.
It's real. Come on! We don't know where this creature is or what it's doing here.
All right, you can catch Abominable on video on demand right now. And for more reviews and interviews, just surf on over to my website at vegasfilmcritic.com. I'm Jeffrey K. Howard in Las Vegas. Thank you for joining me. I'll see you next time.